Are you someone who has an issue with what your partner is doing or what you look like or certain things that are not happening in your life and you continually stress over it every single day because you see nothing happening? Well, this video is for you. It more so is on the topic of relationships, but you can apply it to all over your life. I speak from experience and also having observed the lives of other people as well. Now, I also subscribe to the law of attraction. Most people may think of it as a woohoo method or something, but it really is. It's not a woohoo. I mean, I do believe that there is energy. There's an energy that you can give off that influences how people behave around you and the decisions that you make yourself. And it can be applied to every aspect of your life. If you want to make fun of it or just make it fun, just think about yourself being in a video game and whatever you put out is what is going to come back to you and de-level you as opposed to leveling you up. Now, how this can actually work against you in a relationship and how you can make things worse in a relationship, whether it be a friendship, boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, even school or relationship with yourself, your weight loss journey or your weight gain journey, whatever it is, you can actually make things worse by stressing. Let's say your partner is doing something that you don't like or you don't agree with. Now, if you believe that your partner is a good person, you've chosen well, that's the common sense part. This person's not a bad person. They're a good person. They're trying to make themselves better. They want to make themselves better. And they have made themselves better if you compare to when you met them to now. But there is something that they're struggling with, whether it be alcoholism, whether it be anything else, and you don't particularly feel comfortable with that person. And you say, you know what, this person is working on it. They say they're working on it. And I believe this person is going to be this. Because that's the person you chose. You just know they're the kind of person that will improve themselves. But the next day, you see that the person still is doing that, whatever it is. They're still yelling at you, losing their temper. They're still late everywhere you ask them to be. They're not as reliable when you ask them to do specific things. And these are only little tiny versions or little tiny areas in that person's life. Now, if the person is just wholly an unstable person, I'm not talking about that. I'm even talking about you. Maybe one day you eat a whole bunch of food and you offset your intermittent fasting or your weight loss and you get off keto or whatever diet you're on and you just feel like total shit. And you're like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I'm not losing weight. You get on the scale, you're still the same weight. That is stressing. Now, the analogy they'll give you is the tree. Trees take a while to grow. If you plant a tree and you know you've planted it in good soil and you're certain because you've seen other trees grow in that soil, you've done your research to know that this will grow. You put the seed in there and you leave it. That is how your energy works. That is how your affirmations, your law of attraction works. If you say something, if you believe something, if you say I'm going to work towards this, I'm going to achieve this goal, this person is going to be this, this is going to be this, I'm going to have this, and you believe that, you start to work towards it. As long as you have the mindset that you are going to be victorious in that area, your body will follow suit. Whatever you think, your actions or come from thoughts. And that is what follows up and consequently manifests later on. However, if you're the kind of person that keeps digging back up the soil and you say, see, it hasn't grown yet. I wonder if it's grown. It's not growing. And by you stressing over it, that's going to prompt you to be like, let me go look. Let me just go look. Did the plant come out yet? Because I have to know. I really have to know whether or not it's growing. If there's nothing, if by like 2 weeks there's no plant or the seed hasn't cracked open, something's wrong. I need to dig it up again and try again. Like if you're that kind of person, that tree will never grow. As a matter of fact, you'll do the complete opposite. You'll actually damage it by continually exposing it to the air before it is time. And that's kind of what we do in relationships. If you're a guy and you're like, man, she said she's going to do this and she hasn't done this, you keep checking back on her and policing her, it's only going to drive her away from you. Same thing with the guys and the girls. If a person, if they say that, if you say to them, I know you're a good person and it makes me so happy when you cook or when you take out the trash or something stupid like that. And the person does it and they even say to you, I'm trying to do better. I am trying to do better. But then the next day they mess up again and you come down with a whole host of hell on that person. See, you're a horrible person and I can't take this anymore. Like, that is just pushing the person away. And by you feeling that way and stressing about it, you're actually pushing the person away. You're demotivating them to do that thing. And it is hard. I understand that it's hard because you want to see quick results. But the issue, and I had to learn this too, and I'm still learning it, is especially if something has been a habit for somebody for a very long time, don't expect it to be broken overnight. If somebody, let's just say as an example, let's just say your girlfriend leaves her underwear all over the house, right? And you have clients that come over and you're annoyed and you're like, babe, can you not do that, please? It makes me very upset when you do that. And she one day she just decides, you know what, you're angry and she wants to make you happy, and she takes up all of her underwear and she puts it where they need to be. And you say to her, baby, thank you for doing that. And she says to you, I'm sorry that I do that. I'll try to do better. And then for all the rest of the days, for the rest of the week, she leaves her underwear all over the house. And you just blow up. You know that this is something she's probably had this habit since she was a little girl. So it's don't expect it to be broken overnight. But if you say to yourself, you know what? I know my girlfriend loves me. And karma is a real thing. And if I do better and try to do the better for myself and maybe make it an example, and praise her every time she does do it, for the rare times she does do it, or ask her to help me, or even mention it every once and again, but don't mention it in an accusatory tone. Mention it like, hey babe, can you pick up your underwear because I have people coming over? And even if you're mad and you're seething inside and you want to say something like, this thug little bitch, like you want to say something really bad, it is important for you to maintain your composure and to remember what the end result is. If you're somebody who wants to lose weight and you have been doing great and one day you eat a whole cake, don't shit on yourself. Don't be like, oh my God, I'll never lose weight. Look at all those other girls or guys that look better than me. I'll never get there. I'm sick of how I feel. You're depressed, and that demotivates you. And then because you're depressed and you keep filling yourself with those thoughts that are negative, it demotivates you from exercising or from dieting or doing whatever. You see, that's how the law of attraction and manifestation works. The universe doesn't care if you ask for something bad or for something good. Whatever you give it is what it's going to multiply. If you say, I'm a loser, I'm never going to be this, I'm never going to be that, guess what? That's what it's going to give you. It's going to be like, yeah, sure, okay, I'm going to give you back that energy. And that energy is going to manifest into the actions that validate that statement, that validate that thought over and over again. And I'm not saying that you can't have a negative thought ever. We're human beings. You're going to have negative thoughts. But if you keep perpetuating that and you live that day in, day out, that is what you're going to be. Now, if you want to lose weight and you have something that you want so badly and you know that you're going to get that thing, you're like, this is what I want. Start acting as if you have that thing. If your partner has a really bad habit that they're trying hard to break or that you want them to break, start acting as if they have broken it. And so when you do talk to them, it's not coming from a vitriolic place. It's coming from a place of love, saying that, you know what? I know you have this bad habit of leaving your underwear everywhere. But I know that one day I'm going to be seeing you pick up that underwear. You're going to be shouting at me to pick up mine. And you just kiss them. And people respond a lot better to that. That energy that you put out, it works, guys. I've seen it work. I have seen it work without even saying anything. It is imperative that you do not stress. If you plant a seed in soil, and especially if it's a very sturdy tree and a good species that you know will grow through all conditions, stop digging back up the seed. Stop stabbing the dirt trying to find out if it grew or not. Leave it alone. If 2 weeks go by, just say, you know what, just keep watering it. Keep giving it love. As long as you water it, you know that eventually one day, and the thing is that the way that some trees work and the way that relationships and even some of these things work, without fail, you will notice that for a very long time it will seem like nothing is happening. I swear to freaking God. It will seem like nothing is happening and you'll just be like, oh boy. But when you forget about it, one day there'll be 3 months that go by, 6 months that go by, weeks that go by, and then all of a sudden, shoo, this tree just like overnight just grows. Overnight, it's like you just get 20,000 subscribers. Overnight, it seems as though, where did the 20 pounds I had go? Overnight, it just seems like your partner doesn't have that bad habit anymore. Like, it just, everything just happens in a very weird, very slow, gradual, concealed manner. And then when it can't be concealed anymore, it just bursts into manifestation. And I see that more often than not, 90% of the time, that's how things manifest. So, don't stress. Don't make things worse in your relationships with your people, your friends, or anybody. Now, if something is already toxic and you're not putting any work towards it, because if you're having that positive mindset and you're you have those thoughts and you're affirming that, your actions are going to follow. They will. Because you will have that feeling and that energy to want to do the things to bring about that consequence, whether it be good or bad. But make sure that you choose the right thing. If you say, like, weight loss is a good thing, anything that is beneficial in a relationship with yourself or with another person, if it's a good thing, it will work out. But if you're saying, well, how can I be a better serial killer and stuff like this, and yeah, that might happen, but just understand that it may come with a whole host of other things that are bad for you. So just keep that in mind. And it was a very important lesson that I grew up having to learn. I still struggle with sometimes. I have to keep reminding myself that, oh yeah, why do I have to, please. If I have to gain weight or whatever, I know it's hard for me to gain weight and it takes a while for me to gain weight. But if I keep telling myself this is what I'm going to be, I will put myself in a mode to perform those actions to make that become a reality. Same thing with your partner. Your partner has a bad habit and you know you love that partner and the partner loves you very much and they are trying their best, but they've had this habit since like they were 4 or something. Just understand that that habit that they've had longer than they've known you or than you probably were even alive, that they're not going to break overnight. It's going to take some time. And the fact that they're even trying to begin with, that's a big deal. Another relationship thing is with kids. And I've struggled with this too with my parents, and it was very discouraging. I tell you from my point of view that I would do little things that were upsetting. Maybe I'd forget to take out the trash, but I'd do everything else right. And then my parent would choose like one thing to continually harp on about. You didn't do this, you didn't do that, and it just did the opposite. It drove her nuts because it actually resulted in the opposite effect. It made me so frustrated and scared that I didn't want to do anything, or I just kept forgetting everything else. And it made it more frustrating. But those times when she praised me and she was like, I can see that you're trying. You didn't get everything right, but I can see that you're trying. That made me want to try even more. It didn't make me want to rebel. It didn't make me forgetful. The energy that she was putting out in those times made me want to try more. So it's very important to be aware of your energy and how it will manifest things. If it's bad energy, you will manifest bad. If it's good energy, you'll manifest good. It's not bad to be sad or to be upset, but do not let that be your motto. Don't carry that in, day out. It's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for relationships that you may have with your kids, your significant others, or your friends. Hope this helped, guys. If you have any other questions, just ask.